Okay, hello world. Hello to all our fellow travelers out there. I'm Helen Taylor, and welcome to Inspired Radio series You Are Supernatural. I'm here with you every Monday for conversations and stories, not to entertain you, which they will, but to wake up something. We're going to talk about cycles, programs, energy, healing, out of body experiences, ghosts, dimensions, telepathy, patterns, conversations to just bend reality at the edges. So let's get started. This week, my guest is Asta Evans. And she's a wife, she's a mum, she's a master numerologist, and she's got a life path of 33. And I'm sure we'll find out what that means as we get into her story. A decade ago, Asta was deep in a personal healing crisis that forced everything to change, including major decisions about her health. And what followed wasn't just recovery, it was something far more unusual. She started getting into the energy of things. Years later, in 23, 24, she stepped into numerology study almost by chance. And what she found didn't feel new to her, it felt familiar, like a hidden language she was somehow remembering. So let's get into it because, by the sounds of things, life isn't random. Hi, Asta.
Hi, Helen. Thank you for having me here.
Oh, you're welcome. You have such a wonderful story to tell, and I can't wait to get into the juicy details. So, where do we start? Um, let's start with 10 years ago. What happened 10 years ago?
I kept on feeling there was something not quite right. Something not quite right in the energy, in the air, in the it's just a feeling. And most of the time, I thought it was in me. I thought there was something wrong with me. I couldn't put my finger on it.
Mhm.
We even moved house. We moved to a different suburb. Luckily enough, just outside of the Ring of Steel, just in time.
Oh, for anybody outside of Australia or anyone outside of Victoria listening, when we had the lockdowns, we had something called the Ring of Steel, which basically was a big circumference right around Melbourne, the suburbs definitely, and getting into the country, which was, yeah, everybody had to check in and out, going past security points and stuff. Gosh, that was an awful memory. Ugh.
Oh no, it was crazy. My husband and I run our own small business, so all of our vehicles had to have all this paperwork inside of it to allow us to be in and out of that ring of steel, just to
Right.
do our job, just to be able to put food on the table.
So
So
you were living outside of the Ring of Steel and
yes,
you had to navigate backwards and forwards.
yes, yes, because a lot of our customers were in or out of that ring of steel. So
Mhm.
and we were essential to the essentials. So
Okay.
it was a
Essential
fine line.
services. Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. So it was the job we had to do. So it was a challenge, but
Yep.
it was at that moment. It was actually 2019. It hit me really hard. I kept saying to my mum, "What is this? What's going on? Something's not right, and I can't. I don't think it's just me. Something else is in the air."
Right.
What happened after that? 2020 came along.
Yep.
Was very interesting, and
So you were already getting a premonition of some sort,
mm.
but had you had them other times in your life?
I did remember those two towers that magically came down.
Yeah, we can
Um,
talk about that out loud. So the Twin Towers in New
yeah,
York. Yeah.
when that came down, I was shocked and I thought, this is weird. This doesn't make sense. This is very, very strange. But I couldn't put my finger on it. I had a young child at the time,
Yep.
so my mind was very busy with that and juggling our business as well because I'm a bookkeeper for my husband's business,
Mhm.
or our business. And, it was like, oh, that seems strange, but I won't go any further. It
Yeah.
wasn't until 2020 hit and we were given no choice but to be in our homes. So therefore, I started finding myself searching things, going down some rabbit holes,
Okay.
discovering some things. I had my whole family think I was losing the plot. Crazy. What's mum doing? She's going down these holes and she's telling us all these things, and they seem very horrific. And it would have been. But for me, it
So
was like,
what do you mean though? What sort of things?
I was discovering that the world has a lot of satanic people, satanic, not people even, just beings that were ruling what we were doing. And I was finding that what we seen in our day-to-day life, there was all lies. And now watching TV, I couldn't watch TV anymore because I couldn't believe anything that was coming through that screen anymore. It all seemed like lies, and it just didn't make any sense. So I found a lot of things that were horrific.
Mhm.
They were seeing a lot of child abuse, which actually brought up some traumas of my own from my own childhood.
Of all the things to start stumbling over, that's
Yeah.
just incredible. But what you started to recognize was the programming in the
Yeah.
world, right?
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Mhm.
Which is totally against any of these beautiful energies that are surrounding us everywhere that we are. Um, and of course, when 2020 hit and we were being told to do things to our bodies without even questioning it,
Yep.
I was very uncomfortable with that scenario and yeah, pushed back as far as I could.
Sure.
Um, yeah, and it,
What
it
a
was
wake up call. What a
oh,
wake up call. Like you are resonating with a lot of people as you're saying this, because I did some public speaking in 2022, and that was to the people that were being drawn to me were people like you who had only just started waking up to the idea that there was programming in this world and the world was headed in a direction that they didn't like, and they were trying to figure out what they could do about it. Yeah. So you
yeah,
woke up, right? You
yes.
started looking and investigating, but as soon as you were talking to your family and your friends about what you're finding, you were polarizing everybody.
Yes, I lost lots of friends. I lost
Mm.
family members. It was pretty horrific. I mean, there was a Christmas that was very miserable. My children missed out on a lot because certain people said that they didn't want to be around us for Christmas. So,
Yeah.
that didn't help that the TV was telling you that that was okay to do as well.
Yes.
Don't invite those people because silly things like these people are going to kill you. They're going to, I mean, it was horrific.
Yeah, if you don't do what the program or the system wants you to do, which was to take the jab and, just, behave the way you were being told, then there was something wrong with you instead.
Yes, exactly. And I didn't choose. I didn't throw the same thing to those people either. I didn't
No, we all saw
judge
that
them.
hypocrisy. We all saw that hypocrisy, love. It's like I've walked and I've always investigated both sides of the fence.
Yeah.
And I found that the people that are most judgmental have only lived one side of the fence. They
Yes.
don't even entertain and look at the other side of the fence. But that's a whole other story. Let's get back to you, right? So that was coming into COVID and lockdown. So you just had, I don't know, the rose-colored glasses pulled straight off, and you were just starting to see a lot of hidden stuff that was now coming out into your reality.
It was, and I think that was part of my healing process because, as I said, I was still feeling something wasn't quite right with me as well. I'm actually quite in tune. When I did learn about numerology and I did my chart, I understood why I'm so in tune with my health and things come up for me and I deal with it. So during that time, I had two operations. Again, had horrific moments because I didn't wear a mask, so they didn't want to let me in at times. They made me want to do things. That was terrible. Got through all that sort of stuff, and then started to really try to
Hang
find.
on a minute, hang on a minute.
Uh-huh.
This is to do with your health issues that you had. You
Yeah,
had to go into hospitals
yeah,
and to see doctors
yeah,
during this lockdown type of strategy. So
yes,
you didn't want to wear a mask because you also, you spoke to me before the show about having, some just mental health issues about having something over your face. I had the same. I had exactly the same. I understand.
mhm,
Um, and so you had made choices, but you were going into the health system asking them to help you with health issues, and they were trying to squeeze you into a box and get
yeah.
you to lie.
Yeah, yeah, I got forced to try to put it on, try to put something on your face because this is our rules. And I said, but I put that on my face, I'm going to be I'll faint within seconds.
Yeah.
You can be picking, what's the point in doing that? I'm not in danger. You are. But it didn't matter what the argument was that I tried to win over.
Here you are trying to heal yourself with
Yeah.
some, I mean, we don't have to let everybody know what your health issues were, but they were pretty severe things going on. And so, even just having to manage that and the family business
Yeah.
and kids, you've got kids as well. Yep.
Yes, they're all adults. But I am a mama bear at heart, so I am always on call with them.
Yeah.
So I do smother them. I know I do. So yeah, they always call on me and ask me things. So I was juggling all of that as well.
Yes. Yeah. And then the systems want to just put, 10 ton of pressure on you at the same time. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And make me feel terrible. I mean, I remember at one stage just before, when you go through those steps, when you're going to have an operation and they take you to the room just before the operating room and you're sitting in there. Well, one nurse came up. So you see different nurses each time. And one nurse came in to me and she said, "Oh, you're supposed to have a mask on." And I had to go through the whole explanation thing. So then she closed all the curtains around me. So I'm sitting there.
That was going to do it, right?
Oh, I was horrified.
Viruses know that if there's a curtain in the way, well, there's nothing it can do.
It was such a terrible experience because I don't like being put to sleep. I don't like having operations. So it wasn't something that was a choice. It was something that had to be done. So I'm horrified by the idea of having this done. And then you go and put that around me. So I'm feeling like, is
Yeah.
there something wrong with me? Everyone's scared of me.
It's not
I'm
very
not,
reassuring, is it?
no, 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 it wasn't. But, I got through it. It was
Was,
the story.
you know, I have a question now because I've been working with people one on one and all that sort of stuff for 30 something years now, right? And I've been doing work on myself for that amount of time as well. When the lockdowns came, I had done a lot of work on myself and I kind of knew something was coming. I just didn't know what it was. So I didn't get hit like a ton of bricks like a lot of people. Um, and what I saw with someone like you is that just you hadn't done a lot of personal development work or self-development. Is that right?
Not really. I ventured into, I thought I had something when I was younger. I knew I could hear things, I could feel things.
Mm.
Um, I didn't really put my finger on it. I did do Reiki when I was younger, when my the two eldest were much younger.
Yep.
I loved doing that, but I didn't, I didn't come out of my shell. I didn't utilize that energy of my three to
Well,
its
they're
best
sort of
ability.
cycles, aren't they? They're
Yeah,
cycles of visiting
yeah,
that part of life,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
And then we get sucked back into the programs and life,
Back into
right?
3D, yes.
Yes. And then because what I now see is so for people like you were carrying a lot of your baggage because
Yeah,
we're told that we've got baggage in the past and our trauma and our story. So you're carrying a lot of that. And it all got I don't know, the Pandora's box got opened all at once. All at
yes.
once. That's kind of
Yeah,
like what happened for you and many others. And that polarized families. We started thinking about different things, talking about different things. And it really was quite a lot of chaotic energy as everybody's stuff was kind of just flying out of the box.
yeah, exactly.
That makes
Exactly.
sense. Mm.
100% that makes sense because it was all happening at once. So it sort of ironically was forcing me further down those rabbit holes because I'm being forced into that. What is going on right now? This is
Yeah.
not I can't just walk away from this. A lot of it was now I've seen it. I can't unsee it.
Yep.
So now I need to know more about what I've just seen.
Hmm.
I was finding all sorts of things, Tartaria, for example, and mud blood. Of course, I was telling everyone, like I said, everyone thought I was crazy.
Yeah.
So, and there was that experience, and I went through that in the hospitals, but then after that, it was still it was finding myself and going deeper and deeper into finding myself, and I started finding people that I was following online that was saying things that felt so much deeper than this surface level 3D stuff, and it was is inspiring me. So I think Madeline Doherty was one of the first people that I started following, and then from there I started following Rachel Vaughan, which I think you've spoken to, the beautiful Rachel.
Yes, I've interviewed her a couple of times. Yes.
She's amazing. I've done a few of her courses,
Mhm.
and she's really opened me up to a lot more. I love playing with ley lines and being on my property and understanding where they are. There's so much more to Rachel Vaughan as well. She has such a story and she's had, such a life, but she is such a beautiful person. And from that, I also found numerology and I did a numerology course. And then once I finished that numerology course, I was really quite surprised because when I fell into the numerology and the energy of the numerology, it was, oh, this is it. This is me. This is the thing. I've already been doing this. I know I have. So in a past
It's
life,
called remembering, isn't it?
yes, yes. And because it was just hitting me, I was just so on fire with it that it didn't matter where I went. Whenever we were at dinner with somebody and someone happened to say their birth date, I had to look for the nearest. Where's the nearest serviette? Okay, give it to me. And I'm starting to scribble numbers. That's it. I'm lost. And
Mm,
everyone's crowded around asking me questions. And I'm like bouncing out all these information that was coming through, which
mm,
makes sense because my heart's desire number is a 33-6, which is Christ consciousness. So
okay.
when I was tapped in and when I was tuned into my life path number, the information was just flowing through. I didn't have to think about it. And then I explored it even more and got and dove deeper into numerology and understanding of it on such a different level where I just love it. I love teaching it. I love giving people readings as well. And I'm starting to expand on that now. So I haven't stopped at just that energy. Numerology is a beautiful energy and it is my jam. But I
Hey,
also
everybody, just for a moment, can you feel it? Like, honestly, as soon as she's just tapped into that energy, off she goes. It's passion on steroids. It's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. No
oh
wonder. So, we probably all felt that shift in 2023 when you did the course and started to really get into it, right? So, this is beautiful. This is beautiful because there's a lot of people that are listening too that are kind of holding back and standing back a little bit from maybe taking the path that you have
Mm.
because they hear the stories of, at first when you kind of go, I don't want that world out there. I want something else. It is chaotic. And it is, there is a lot of change that goes on. How did you cope with that? How did you deal with that?
Of course, being locked in, you didn't really get a lot of choice, but I was so grateful for the soul community. I started to meet all these people that were on this different level. They're on the same level as what I'm exploring,
Yeah.
and we were meeting with each other. And when we talked to each other, it was, let's go deeper into this. Not, oh, you're crazy. Don't talk about that. Keep back in your 3D world where you're constantly chasing suppliers and working for customers that need you desperately because the machine's breaking down. Oh my gosh, the world's falling in, that sort of stuff.
You were
Deep.
navigating both
Yeah,
worlds,
yeah,
navigating both worlds.
yeah,
And
yeah.
that's what everyone is doing at the moment.
Yeah.
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 Mhm.
And it is still a challenge, but what you get from opening up and understanding yourself and understanding the energies, it lights you up. It really does. And we've got so much we can tap into to understand who we really are, because we are all so unique.
Yes.
All of us are very unique. And when we understand our unique energies, be that you get it from numerology, astrology, tarot, human design. There's so many different energies out there you can get that from.
Yeah.
Imagine you actually get all of them together, how unique you can actually be and how you can
Know
understand
thyself.
who you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Know thyself. That is the whole journey in a nutshell. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so the 3D world 6 years ago started to collapse in on itself. There's a lot of different theories out there and a lot of different descriptions, but I saw back then that the world didn't have a virus, the old world did. And it was a viral infection and it was starting to implode on itself. Here we are 6 years later, and gosh, you just have to listen to media and everything else to see like no one's making any sense anymore,
No,
right?
no.
It's all going a little strange and a little sideways. And let it, because people like you are stepping into a new world.
Yes, yes.
And tell
Most,
me what, I mean, now you're just, let's encourage everyone to have a look because you start to find like-minded people. You
yeah.
start to find people that are about the energy and about heart space and things like that.
Yeah. Oh, on such a beautiful level too. That the soul family that I have, that, I just spent a weekend with a couple of them in New South Wales, and it was just a magic to be with them. There's none of this. I remember at school you had to live up to a certain code or a certain, to be part of something. Oh, you're not part of this gang because you're not doing this or not doing that. That was that 3D world, and that's that nasty world that, they want us to stay in, because obviously when we go to school, it's just to make factory workers. It's not to make human beings with some soul and with some uniqueness about them, because we all need to follow suit.
Mm.
Now, when I'm in my soul community, in that soul family, I can be me and they're okay with that. And I'm okay with them being them,
Yeah.
because that's who they are. And we can gel, we can talk, we can share these things, and understanding the energy. I mean, obviously, a lot of my soul community are mostly numerologists,
Yep.
but I'm starting to branch out because I know about the energy being further out.
Mm.
And we bounce off each other. Like you said before, once we start talking, we talk like this all the time. It's like, our energy is just lifted because our energies are talking rather than necessarily this 3D world.
And like you said, I had it in the intro too. It's like as soon as you started doing numerology, you felt like you were remembering things. So there's not this, the old world was about pressure of learning and comparing with others and, and achieving and things like that. Tell me about what it's like to just be natural and be good at something that you love.
It's so much fun. It really is. I obviously my husband and I still run our business, so I have to step into that 3D world every day when I log in to check the accounts, make sure everything's running smooth. And I always choose to try and do that first thing in the morning and get it over and done with,
Hmm.
because I don't want to be there for too long, because in that other world where I'm playing with energy and understanding it and seeing each day, I learn something new about it. I'm constantly learning. I got books behind me and I can't get enough of these books as well. Like I'm constantly grabbing books just in case there's something I may have not, received, or, I've missed. A lot of the times I pull the book open and I'm like, okay, I knew all that. I haven't missed it. Sometimes there's things in there that I pull out, but once I pull it out, it's I got to pull it apart. I can't just leave it at that. So it's just, there is a seven in my grid, so then it is going to pull apart. Sevens will do that.
And we've all got a mind, and the mind is the thing it's been educated to want information. So you kind of just babysitting it and saying, okay, here's some stuff for you to read.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. And I'm a student for life.
Mm.
Life path 303 or 33. Um, it's a student for life. It always wants to know more. It's playful and child.
Oh, this is the 33 when I introduced you to your life path.
Yes. Yes. So my life path number is a 303.
Gotcha.
And then my heart's desire is a 33-6. So
Okay.
the soul number, I'm a very strong believer. And once you tune into your life path number, your soul number, which is it's come here, it has its heart's desire is to be here to do something. There's something it's wanting to do when it's here.
Yeah.
When you tap into it, that's when you start to achieve. And it depends where you are in your life sometimes. Obviously, the earlier we can understand these energies, the quicker we can get to that point.
Well, I agree with you there because what I was just thinking then is if you have your numerology done, it's the same as you brought up human design. That was something I did 10 years ago. It gives you confirmation, and that's something really, really lovely in this world of competition and competing and comparing with each other. Know thyself, like I said before, if you do your numerology chart or something along those lines, it confirmed for me my weaknesses. I went, there's my limitation. Okay, so I operate within a paradigm there, but here's my strengths. Or it really, I think I've always said good information. If we've got 50 million, 50 trillion cells in our body. I like to see them with little eyes and little ears and little mouths. And all those little cells, when they get good information from numerology or something, they go, oh, it lights you up. It
Yes.
lights you up and
Yeah.
it turns on circuitry in some way. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Confirmation of, okay, yeah, that's me.
Exactly. Exactly. And it's exciting because then you know that you're actually somebody or something.
Mm,
We go through, a lot of us go through our lives where we're like, I know that I'm here for something, but I don't know what it is, but it doesn't matter because my 3D world needs me to go to work, earn the dollars, come home, cook, clean, do all the 3D stuff. We
yep.
still, obviously, we still have to do a lot of these things, but there's so much more to us than just that.
Yes. I know that with science, there's one fellow that I heard recently who said that 0.036% of the energy on this planet is the physical matter.
Mm.
0.036%. So 99 point God knows what, because I'm not going to do the math on the run right now or grab my calculator out. But the rest is energy, right? And some people can tune in and see it, like I'm sure you've been doing with the ley line work that you've done, those sorts of things. It starts to turn on those rods and cones, that peripheral vision and whatnot. Yeah,
Mm.
it's like we have to start paying attention to the rest of it
Yeah,
now.
exactly. What better time than to do it now,
Mm,
to understand who we are and what energy we're working with.
mm,
It can be so beneficial on so many different levels. If you look at and understand your own energy, you can understand how you can operate on a day-to-day basis. Once you understand that, you can understand those that are around you. I understand my children on such a different level.
mm,
And of course, I'm like, wow, can I have the time machine now so I can go back to when my kids were teens or this was happening and that was happening? I have a daughter and two boys. My daughter and I, we would have clashed a lot, but not understanding. All we thought was, oh, it's mother and daughter. That's what they do. Mum and daughters do that. No,
mm,
no, no. We have different energies.
mm,
So,
mm,
just she's going to love me for picking on her, but her five energy didn't want my six energy, which is very smothering,
mm,
always smothering her, always wanting to hold her, cuddle her, make sure she's all right. Mum, leave me be. This is not her being a teenager just trying to push her mum away, doesn't want to know her. It's just that's her energy, doesn't want to be smothered all the time. But when it does want it, she lets me know. Now I understand. We have an amazing relationship because I know, understanding what energy she is, when I can, okay, I need to pull back. My six energy is being too much. Just pull back. She'll let me know when she needs me.
Yeah, as humans, we struggle to find the words. A lot of people just don't have enough insight into themselves at the time to go, to say, she just didn't know to say, "Mum, you're smothering me. Back
Yes.
off at the moment. It doesn't feel right." And yeah, we lack that language and that insight, don't we?
Exactly. And that's totally not her fault or mine for that matter,
Yeah, yeah.
because the way a society has brought us up,
Mm.
it's to
Not to pay
talk
attention
about
to that
that stuff.
stuff.
That's right. We don't pull, yes. And it's just understanding it. Again, so I'm using it in my family, but you could use it in your business. You could use it, with your employees. You could use it on so many different levels. I use it on what's my personal energy for the day. If it's a day that wants me to be home and not go out,
Mm.
I'll try and figure out, if do I have to do these chores, because I know if I go out, I'm probably going to hit a lot of brick walls
Right.
because the energy doesn't want me going out. It wants me to stay home. There's it's just understanding it, working with it,
It's
sometimes.
wonderful because it gives us the answers. It
Yeah,
gives us the answers,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
And then we just adjust and we live according to the energy
yeah,
instead of the old way we've been taught, which is just to barrel on through, to
yeah,
just make it happen. But
yeah.
it also, this is beautiful. Like what you're talking about is just saying that everyone is going to have deeper relationships.
Yes, yes. And a deeper understanding. Oh,
Mm.
why wouldn't you want that?
Mm.
Yeah, it's like almost a key to a door, you
Yes.
know, like the Matrix when he's walking down that hallway and he's got the key maker with having him beside you with those keys. That's
Yep.
what it is. He's got the key. I can tell you what energy is going on right now. Okay, which door are we going to go through? I don't want to go through that door because that energy is no good to me. You know?
Yep. Find me the one, or find me the nine, or find me something. Yes, yes.
Exactly.
It's insightful, and it really is a
Yeah,
time for insight, isn't it?
it certainly is. And I'm glad I went through that. I'm glad that I'm constantly realizing that we are always healing ourselves. We always will be. It's just different levels. But I'm glad that I went through that because now I look at life in such a different way. And I've really tuned into my number and I really do pull my number now. It's a very expressed version of a three. It was suppressed. It's now a very expressed version of it. So yeah, there's a couple of times where I realize that, it's a bit too playful, so I have to calm it down a little bit. But other than that, yeah, it's amazing. Yeah.
So joining the dots, right? Because there's a couple of things that you've said here. People listening might think that, all of a sudden, in 2019, all hell broke loose in your life and there was no warning, there was no, you know, life I've understood it takes us through cycles and we do know things that are coming. Unfortunately, people don't review their life at all. They don't look back and see, who they were at different cycles. And when you do, it actually starts to give you insight into how you were being prepared for what happened to you in 2019. You gave some clues where you said when the kids were little, you did some Reiki and stuff. But what about when you were a child? Did you have experiences when you were a kid?
A lot of my childhood I blocked out. So
Right.
it's a bit difficult to sort of answer that question quite clearly. I probably did.
Mm,
I mean, I was born with a life path of three, so I'm not surprised that it was very childlike when it started,
mm,
but then it was suppressed. So I don't know. But I always felt there was something else, and there was something, I had a reason, I had a purpose, I had something else, but the suppressed version of my three was too scared to do anything because it wasn't very safe. This isn't safe. I'm not safe, won't do anything. So,
okay, so that was the kind of program that you had stepped into
yeah,
because of how you was wired
yes.
as a
Yeah.
soul.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Every number, because it's an energy, if it's suppressed, of course, it's not going to come out because it's being suppressed, it's being held back. And
Mhm.
you think about the 1900s, in the 1900s babies, a lot of them would have been suppressed in the leadership and the healing numbers. So,
Gosh, I never thought about that.
yeah.
That whole generation
Yeah. Where did they
was.
do with us? They sent us all to war. And
Mm,
then they had the women go into the factories, so they were killing the family life.
mm.
So, we don't want 1 and 9 doing
And
these.
everything was compartmentalized, right? Mum, dad went to work, mum stayed home,
Yep.
raised the kids. And then that kind of turned into another programming, which was getting mum out into the workforce as well. But they had set boxes and compartments for how to behave.
Yep.
And you're saying that was all in the numerology as well,
100%.
right?
All these energies, these modalities we were talking about, numerology, astrology, tarot, human design, they're all used by those that have copious amounts of money or copious amounts of power. Those ones that we don't like to speak of that are, running the world right now. They use all that.
Yeah. I've heard that a number of times. I'm sure everybody listening has as well. Is
Yep.
that people have had people like I call that old world a multi-level marketing game, and whoever starts the game usually controls it and has everybody down the levels working for them. That's how the whole system looked to me. So, yes, those ones that had the money and had the influence also had access, now you're saying, to numerology and astrology and knew how to utilize those things and create.
Yep. Exactly. And sadly, we've always had we've always been able to tap into it.
They had
but
the rules of the
it's
game.
no.
They
Yep.
had the rules of the game.
Yep.
And we just got the game without the rules.
Yep. Yep.
Mm.
And we've been stumbling in the dark. So when you come across it, I suppose that's why you get so fired up because now you're in the light. Now you're understanding what's going on around you. Now you're like, wow,
It
I can do
lights you
so
up.
much more. Yeah, it really does.
Mm. Oh my gosh, everybody, go and get lit up. Come on. Start right now. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Wow. So numerology, and we've heard the passion a number of times in just this short conversation so far. Then ley lines. So then you started to see the energy as well and feel the energy.
Yes, yes, I do. I've actually just recently done a Earth Healing Part One course,
Mhm.
and loved that. That was just amazing to be in touch with the energy of the Earth. Like I said, just energy is everywhere. So I'm constantly expanding on all that sort of stuff because I understand that this is something I want to pull apart now and really get into. So
Is
I'm just
our
going to keep
Earth,
doing that.
it's just a question just dropped in. Is our Earth really as sick as they're trying to portray?
Um,
In just the
When you say
experience
that,
you've had?
well, depends. I mean, we can heal the earth.
Mhm.
We have the energy to be able to do that. And the more of us that learn how to do that, the more we can heal the energy. I mean, the energy can be healed just, in just your own block, for example. You've had Margie on here. She's my
Yes.
soul sister. She healed my daughter's property.
Mhm.
And magically we had a sale. She wasn't able to sell it to start off
Oh,
with.
so she was the woman that Marg was speaking about, which was okay. Property was
Yes.
on the market, wouldn't sell, and then she
Yeah.
did the healing work with the property,
Yeah.
and boom, it sold.
Yeah. Yeah, because the property was in pain. It had, these negative ley lines in there, and it had other things that were going that just needed some healing. It just needed some, we can leave our energy in places as well.
Well,
And
that's what I'm thinking too. I mean, you've been down all those rabbit holes, and I've been down the rabbit hole as well, lots of them. But I think about the earth. I just don't know if it's as sick as what we think it is. I think that what you're just saying now is our thinking creates, like, imagine it as a thought bubble or a program, and that starts bouncing around and it connects with other programs or thought bubbles that are the same, that are similar, because like energy attracts like energy, whether you could see it or not. So, yeah, things start bouncing around or they just get left stagnant in your house. Everyone knows what it's like to walk into a house and go, oh,
yeah.
oh no. No, it's
Yeah.
pretty heavy in here, or not quite. Not well. Somebody's left their energy around. I don't believe the earth is so much as sick. I think it's our contribution to the energy.
Yes. Yes. Oh, most definitely. When you think about when we talked earlier about how people were to those that didn't comply,
Mhm.
that energy alone, that, oh, but you're going to kill us.
Yes.
All
And
that
that's pretty
energy.
toxic. And so that's just bumping around in clouds all
Yeah.
over the place, right?
Yeah.
Oh, right. Which is why it doesn't feel very nice to walk into a hospital sometimes, or, you know,
Yes. Well, they're probably sitting on a certain ley lines as well. So, the ones that, yes. Again, they can all be healed. We can all give some kind of healing to those ley lines anyway. So, and it does heal the earth. And yeah, I agree with you. I don't think the earth itself is that it's not causing all those problems. It's on the outside that's causing those problems. So yeah,
the
when we can
inhabitants,
fix that.
the
Yeah.
inhabitants.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, this is a wonderful conversation. Thank you. Because just listening to you and listening to your stories is letting people know what they can do for themselves.
Yes, exactly. And even I didn't know that. I didn't know that beforehand. I didn't know any of this sort of stuff. I didn't know I could be something different and something deeper than what I really am. I've just learnt so much more about myself. It's been amazing. Understanding numerology for me has opened me up, but I've also had an astrology reading, which has explained me in a better frame as well. We're not just this simple zodiac sign and just leave it at that. You know,
Yes.
where was your moon? Where was some other planets? Where is your rising, rising sign? Where is all this stuff
Oh,
happening?
Asta, are you going to study astrology next? Come
I,
on.
I am. I am already. I am studying it with this beautiful woman. Kim is amazing. She's got us going. And yeah, I'm going to add that to it because it will just make people's chart even more unique.
Mm,
Because yes, you can get very unique and very deep with the numbers,
yeah.
understanding their planets as well and where they are. You can add that to it because it all melds in together.
It's dimensional
It is.
and
It is.
everything's dimensional. And that word and this language is just going to become normal,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yes. Oh, how beautiful will that be?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because back when I first started doing it, it was woo-woo. I was even working with a woman. We were in a little business ourselves, and we were promoting healers. No matter what the modality was, we were promoting them here in Melbourne, in Victoria. And we even had a woman who was promoting and teaching about essential oils. And so this is 20 years ago. 20 years ago, we were setting up the first essential oil class in the for the Nurses Association, the Australian Nursing Association. So only 20 years ago, this stuff was at the forefront of actually getting kind of accepted by medicine, right? Only 20 years ago. And only 20 years ago, up until that point, they stress or energy, as in terms of emotions affecting your heart, was boo-hooed by the medical profession. So with the essential oils, so 20 years ago, they were starting to shift the paradigm and recognize that stress or emotions could cause heart attacks. And the nurses were opening the door to learn about aromatherapy. Like, wow, right? So when you think about it in that context, and that's what it's just downloading for me at the moment. It's like we have come a tremendous way in 20 years. Tremendous way.
We have. And it's interesting that you bring that up because I just recently purchased a tuning fork for my husband to try on his knee. And it was because I read a story from an older nurse who remembered them being in the hospital, these
Yes.
tuning
I
forks.
only just saw an article 3 days ago that popped up on my feed how they used to put them on the mastoid bone.
Yep,
They were, at every nurse's station. I
yep.
think it was 112 hertz, was it?
I think the one I got is 547 or
No,
something.
no, this was like 112 because I thought, God,
Yep,
that's a different one. We're not really tuned into that now.
yep,
But she said for anybody, you would put it on the mastoid bone and it would vibrate
yep,
through the skeleton and heal.
yep.
What was the story that you heard?
I can't remember the hertz that it was now. But yeah, so she was saying they were in the hospital and we used to use them on our patients whenever our patients were in pain. Like you said, it was on the bone. You hit it, that vibrated through the bone, they got instant relief. Well, pharmaceuticals came in and said, no, we have a tablet for that. They all had to sign paperwork saying they will never use those tuning forks anymore, and they were never to be used. They're no good, and they all got taken out of the hospital and replaced with tablets. And
Yes.
of course, those tablets are great. They work straight away. Once you get used to them, you need to up that dose and up that dose and up that dose. So you're reliant on that, as opposed to this tuning fork that doesn't need to be upped with its dosage. Just use it. So
Anything that's natural,
mm,
right? It
Yeah.
shifts and changes in frequency all the time. That's what I learned about essential oils. That's why they work so well,
Yeah.
because they don't, that you can't standardize them and make them come out at the same frequency every time. And so the body can't adapt. It can't
Yeah.
adapt.
Yeah. Exactly.
That crazy. You had that thought. Well, oh my gosh, I love we are all just starting to tune into each other more
Yes.
and more. And isn't that a natural way of operating?
100% it has to be the natural way. It feels too good to be wrong. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Yes,
Hmm.
it does. But to somebody who hasn't experienced that, the mind kind of just tries to, I don't know, analyze it, work it out. You have to experience it, don't you?
You do, you
Have to.
do. I'm glad that I made that leap and did that.
Mm.
I've had a few people help me, sort of, metaphorically kick me up the butt and get me to do things.
Yeah.
The start of this year, I had someone kick me up the butt and stand up in front of people and tell them about my passion for numerology.
Oh
I
my
was
gosh, that's right. You
so,
had to do some public speaking.
I did. And it was the first time ever in my life that I've stood up in front of people.
Yeah.
And I stood there and I seriously thought I could feel my body shaking. And I jokingly said to my friends, I think I look like I had Parkinson's disease from head to toe.
You thought you were like
I
you.
thought I'm moving around, but apparently I wasn't. But
Yeah.
that was just what I felt inside. But that calmed down when the group of people I'm telling this energy to, because I'm so passionate about it, because it's my truth and I'm being truthful and authentic. This is what I say. When you're in tune with your life path number, it shines. So I'm being very truthful. I'm being playful. I'm being authentic. I'm being the number three. I'm trying to teach people. I'm showing them what I've learned as a student. And then these people are coming up to me, asking me all these questions. Well, tell me more, tell me more. They were excited because they want to know more. And that's great for me because I'm like, I want to show you what I know.
Mm.
So I just lifted from there. So I'm grateful that I had somebody who sort of gave me that little nudge. Go on, do it. Just do it. And yeah, I've had a few others that have done that for me too. I've had a lot of support
Yeah.
during my healing process. Yeah, and it's
Thank
been,
you. Thank you for taking that step because I know it takes courage, right?
it
A lot
does.
of people just stand at that edge. And the problem with just standing at the edge is that what you're resisting starts to get bigger and
Yeah,
bigger and bigger,
yeah,
right? And then we have to try to shove it in the background and shut it up somehow, right? And avoid what our heart wants,
yes,
right? Like
yeah,
your heart wanted you to, express what you've learned and who you are.
yeah.
And there's a price we pay if we don't do it, isn't there?
There certainly is. You miss out on so much. I realized how much in my life I was missing out on all the things I could have been doing had I been tapping into myself, understanding myself, using what the energy I came in with,
Yeah.
and and just flourishing from that. I didn't have to be doing numerology. Understanding my energy was enough
Mm.
because I could have been a different person. The three is a very playful number.
Yeah.
So I remember, younger age. My husband is also a three. He's actually the same life path the number as me, 303. But he's always been the expressed version of it. We would
Right.
go to parties and he would walk in. We know nobody. We get in the room. He knows everyone within an hour. I'm still sitting in a corner, not wanting to talk to anyone because it's not safe.
Yeah.
This is the polarity of the two energies.
But that's also the beauty of exploring this world.
Yes. Yes.
Right? Because
Yep.
the old world, well, the programs made you a daughter or a sister. It then made you, a student and then a worker and a business owner and a wife and then a mother. You become all these programs, but where was you?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like she broke free quite a few years ago now, like,
Yep.
ta-da, here I am.
Yep.
And, when you did that, the rest of the people in your world went, whoa, whoa, what's going on here? Because the masses out there are so compartmentalized in how life works, that if anybody breaks free from that, yeah, it kind of, I don't know, wakes up everybody else to a certain degree for a moment, doesn't it?
It does. And if that does wake you up, go for it. Take it. Don't hold back.
Yeah.
Like if we all started doing that, so if you all started meeting people, that do light you up and make you go, well, is there more to me? Okay, well, let's explore it. What are you going to lose? You can't lose anything. It may feel a little bit scary, and for some numbers it will be, for some it won't. You know, and I can't help myself but think numbers when I talk like that. But someone will flourish from this, and it'll just you'll start finding people like you, and it'll just come to you. You won't have to try. There won't be any trying. Try to have people like me.
Mm,
Try to have people accept me. That seems to be something I think we all had to do right from day one at school.
yep. And that's hard work.
It is. It
That's
is.
hard work.
If you think about if you think about the numbers and you've got two energies that don't get along with each other and are trying to because they're being made to, it's like bringing two magnets together the wrong way. They're going to keep pushing back,
Repelling, repelling. Mhm.
making them do something that they're not supposed to do.
Sure. Sure. That's why I said earlier, it just understanding yourself and your energy helps you understand everybody that you're engaging with. I loved it when I just, like you don't have the words to go, I just don't like that person. I
Yeah,
just don't. I think our language is really quite dinosaurish when it comes to that. But finding out your energy through numerology, you can go, we're not compatible.
yeah,
We're not compatible.
yeah,
And that there doesn't have to be any judgment or anything else in there. It's just we're not compatible. That's all there is to it. And off you go.
yeah.
Mm.
And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I mean, you think about like that comment alone. If you've got two workers working side by side and they're not compatible,
Yes.
knew that, you could maybe, instead of one, quitting or you having to fire someone because they're constantly clashing, if you moved one to a different area of that building or something, you still got two wonderful employees, but they're just not in each other's face anymore.
A great idea. I'm just seeing now. It's like I know that for quite a long time, bigger corporations or bigger businesses have been doing profiling, personality profiling, and things like that. Started decades ago with Myers-Briggs and those sorts of concepts. But why don't people get corporate numerology done?
I reckon, definitely. Think
Yeah.
about think about it in the school level.
Oh, yeah, it's school.
Think about these teachers that have these, they come home and I have a teacher I have a few teachers I know, and I have one in my family. And she comes home, she's like, so my class today, these same ones kept on disrupting the class. Well, hang on a minute, what number are they?
Right.
So say, for example, you had three fives and sevens in one class, and then you had two fours and sixes. So the twos, the fours, and the sixes, they love programs. They love balance. They love connection. They love something. Give them a program, give them something they've got to do, and they'll be happy in that. We can get that finished. And
Yep.
they're all going to do the same thing. You got a three, five, and seven in a room, and you give them multiple tasks because they need to be moving around and bouncing around.
Right.
Threes want to have fun and play. Fives like to have different things to muck around with. They can't just be told just one thing. They don't like to be
Yep.
boxed in. And sevens, they're tapping into knowledge all the time and wisdom, so they want to pull things apart. So if you do that, so then you've got these classes, they're not going to be playing up.
Well, in an instant, I already see why kids don't want to sit still.
Yeah.
Duh.
So if you put a four in a room with a five, the five's going to distract the four because it's wanting to bounce around and move around. It's very chaotic and erratic. The four's like, no, we've got something to do. This is the order it's supposed to be done in. The five's like, no, I want to do one first, then four, then three, then I'm going
Right.
to do it my way. Four's like,
Right.
no, because it's got to be one, two, three, four.
Get it. I get it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, I think we've just tapped into a few different dimensions of how numerology can just make this world a completely different place, going from school to corporate to your personal life.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we talked earlier about the price you pay when you don't take opportunities and when you don't step forward. I think when I say this, everybody out there is going to know what it's like to have some emptiness inside them. And in the old world out there, I was always trying to fill that emptiness. You know that one. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
feel that. And
Yeah.
now that you have, opened up onto a new path for yourself, do you still have that emptiness?
No. And if it does come up, I'm sitting with it to figure out what is it? What's wrong? Like I try to remember to write in my diary every day what personal energy I might be under before I leave the house or start my day. But I don't always get chance to do that. So sometimes I get to the end of the day and go, "Oh, what happened with today?
Mhm.
What did that?" Hang on. Sit down and do it and go, "Oh, supposed to stay home. Okay. That's
I
my
love
own
that.
fault."
I
It's
love that.
actually it's actually reassuring and a bit more you can actually sit with it better because you're like, well, I was fighting an energy all day. Duh. Okay. Well, now it's okay. Yes, it was a shitty day still. Yes, nothing went right, but now I'm okay with it because I've understood what happened
Yeah.
and I can sit with it better. As opposed to just going, I just had a really bad day today, and you just go to bed still feeling like you had a bad day. You've got no idea why it happened because you haven't asked, you haven't looked to see what was going on.
Mm. I have a little motto, if you don't plan life, life will plan you.
Yeah.
And that's what people call, if you're not planning your life, then life happens to you by default. And that's what we call mistakes and accidents and things like that. But what I'm hearing from you is that you're engaged on a daily basis with who you are and the energy of who you are, and you're always paying attention to it. So that's you taking control of your life, right?
Yes. And we should all be doing that because it's our life. It's nobody else's, it's ours. Yes, we include people in our lives, our partners, our children, our work colleagues, our friends. We do include them, but first and foremost, it's us. And if we look into us and look after us first, it's so much easier to then be able to be helpful for others around us, to help them understand. Like, you know, there's beautiful healers out there. 9 is a very beautiful healing number. And, if these healers looked after themselves, they
Mm.
can look after others.
So fill your own cup up first.
Yes.
Make sure you do.
Yeah.
They were, they were beautiful words, love. I'm just sitting here just
Thank
letting them flow out there. That was just so wonderfully put, right? That's what life's all about. It's all about you.
Yeah, it
Mm.
is.
So, for people out there that would like to get in touch with you, I'm going to put your website in the show notes with this.
Mhm.
But just for those people, what do you do?
So, I am teaching people how to work, how to play with numbers in a way.
Yep.
Numerology, I'm teaching them how to read numbers, how to understand them. They can, by the end of the course, they can actually read a chart. I also do readings. So if people don't want to do a course, they don't want to learn, they just want someone else to do it for them, help
Yep.
them understand themselves, help them understand where they can, tweak things, where they can tune in
Mhm.
their numbers. I also do that. So
Oh, I didn't realize. So you've got courses as well. So you've got individual or private sessions,
yeah,
and you've got courses too.
yes, yes. So my
Okay.
course runs for 10 weeks.
Okay.
I keep my course classroom small so that I can give plenty of one-on-one with everyone in the room.
Personalized. That's
Um,
nice.
Yeah, but I mean, we're talking about your energy and we're talking about you understanding who you are. It's
Mhm.
not about me. It's about you right now and it's about you understanding you. And and understanding again, like I said, once you understand you, then you can understand those around you and you can, flow through life better.
Oh, you've already told them that by like we've realized, hey, it changes relationships. You and
Yeah,
your daughter, like that was priceless. I
yeah,
think everybody got that, right? And it's like if you've got people in your life that you're not relating to or you'd like to relate better to, Go get your chart done or do the numerology course, people. Come on. The energy of what this place is all about, right? And the material world is the outcome, right? But it starts with energy and it starts with your intention, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Yes. Yeah.
So, what would you say about like to a younger version of Asta? What would you say to her today?
Hmm. I would, oh gosh, I'm not sure what I would say. I worry because I think she wouldn't listen to me. That's what I think.
Good. So
I
let's
would,
just grab her by the
yes,
shoulders. And what would you say? It's all going to be okay. What would you say to her?
yes, yes, you are safe. Get out there and do it. Have fun. When you are having fun, it's okay to have fun. There's nothing wrong with that. No one's going to tell you off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think you've just said that to everybody out there as well. That
Yeah.
I think that applies to everyone, right?
Yeah.
You're not going to get told off. Just
No.
get out there and have fun. This
Yeah.
has been a pleasure, love. Thank you. This hour's just flown along. It's been such a pleasure. Thank you so much. I want to thank you for from the world. You are part of, moving away from the old world and creating this new beautiful world where we focus on energy. We have beautiful, rich relationships. And for everybody out there, take a step and do it through numerology. Hey,
Thank you, Helen. Thank you very much for having me. It's been such a pleasure.
you're welcome. All right. Thank you, everybody, for listening and watching. Thank you so much, Esther.
Thank you.